Hi everyone, welcome to the online class. I am Goklesh Upadhyay. Today I am going to explain Standard 9 Civics Chapter 1. What is democracy? Why democracy? Now just you think that it is a new book. I think according to syllabus it is chapter 2, but in this book it is given chapter 1. So first you think about that. In earlier books or earlier syllabus it is democracy in contemporary world and the story about Chile like Allende Salvador or Pinochet or Bachelet, etc. But here the chapter name is what is democracy and why democracy. First we know that what do you mean by democracy? You all know that demo and cracy, rule of the people. It is a form of government in which people elect the government on the basis of popularity, because people cast their vote and on the process of majority a government is formed or popular government is formed. It is the definition of democracy. Next one is the why democracy. So in 8th class you already studied about the different way of ruling system like absolute monarch, constitutional monarch, military, religious ruler, democracy, okay, dictatorship. And to the compare of all these ruling system, democracy is the best ruling system in the world, and I think more than 70% of world government adopted the path of what? Democracy. So in this chapter we just try to know about that the features of democracy. You all know that in a democracy people have special power and a government is work for the people and a government is responsible for the welfare of people and government is answerable for the people. So you just think, because in earlier chapter Augusto Pinochet was a military ruler who overthrew the government of democratically elected Allende Salvador's government. Later the story of Michelle Bachelet, who is the first lady defense minister of Chile and later become a president of Chile, and she was democratically elected. Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi fought for democracy since last 50 years, and it is the story of Myanmar, our neighboring nation. So we move to the next topic, and the topic is the features of democracy. And you all know that when you heard the word democracy, then there is an election, and election in a different political parties, and people have right, one who become 18 and more than 18, are eligible to cast their vote, and on the basis of majority, a popular government is formed. And in India, in earlier class, I have explained about that, a coalition government. More than two and more political parties take part to form a government. It is called coalition. At the moment, BJP led, Modi ji led government, that is NDA, National Democratic Alliance, and earlier Manmohan Singh led, that is UPA, United Progressive Alliance. Understand? So features, that means major decisions by elected leaders. Major decisions by elected leaders, that means what? It was the story related to Pakistan. I think 10 and more years ago, since 2002, okay, 18 years ago. Parvez Musharraf was a military head of Pakistan who overthrew an elected government of Nawaz Sharif and now overruled almost 10 years as a military ruler, as a dictator also. Understand? So here he changed the constitution and gained presidential power day by day, and also less responsible for the people. And the general election you know, was held in Pakistan, but the elected members were not free to take decision for any circumstances. All the elected members have first responsible to deliver their word of a military officer, and after recommendation of the military officer, the decision will, conform to a law. That's why it is given that the major, decisions generally were taken by all the military leaders. So it should not be say that it is a democracy, because elected members are free to, show their expression and take their decisions. That's why, power must be rest for those members who is elected by the people, not by military and outside, person. That's why this is the first free and fair election. It is also very responsible. Generally, you can hear the news about the, malpractices in all the election campaign, and sometimes leaders use, threatening money, ransoms, or, government machinery for take their benefits. So there is also two story here. In China, last 50 years, a communist party government always won the elections, because there is no other political parties, generally are eligible to take part in what? Election. If some of want to take part in election, that means they have to take order of Communist Party, and they have to fight election for Communist Party. That's why a single government is always formed in China. So is this a real democratic election? No. Similarly, generally you can see the story of Mexico. Here PRI. It is also a party that do not lose the election last 20 or 30 years, because the ruling government use all kind of malpractices, threatening, ransom and other activities to win the election. So is that free and fair election? PRI control the media. PRI only favors for their voting, and PRI threatening the government employee and forces to cast the vote in favor of PRI. So you can't say that it is what? A free and fair election. Free and fair election, that means all the communities have to take part in the election without any threatening. In India, it is really true, because there is no, discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, language, religion. Each and every community who are eligible, to take part in election, that means 18 and above 18, can take part in election. Understand? That's why it is free and fair. But in India, 20 years ago, it was very difficult to organize an election, because it is generally violent conditions, created in each and everywhere. Now the next one, a democracy must be based on the free and fair elections, where those currently in power have to fair chance of losing. Yes, those currently in power, if a ruling system do not feel that they may lose in the election, then no matter of, because losing is the fear. And if a party feels that we can lose the election, then they work hard for the, not only winning the election, but also for the people's, programs and policies. That's why other political parties, chance to win the election and take part. In India, every 2 and 3 terms, I think government generally had changed. Okay? Now one person, one vote and one value in India. one person, one vote and one value, and that means all people, either in every class, region, religion, languages, are eligible to take part in vote, because our government is democratic government and we have provided all the facilities, generally male and female both, especially voting rights. But in Saudi Arabia, no. In Russia, no. In Fiji, no. Because if you read the book, then you can see that some of the other communities in Pakistan, I think all Hindus are denied to take part in vote, but in India, all either Hindus and Muslims. In Saudi Arabia, women do not take part in. In Russia, other communities, no. In Fiji, no Indian will take part in votes. That means there are so many nations in the world that do not provide equal voting rights. But democracy says that one person, one vote and one value. That means if Prime Minister casts the vote, that means one single value. And if a normal person casts the vote, it also one single value. That's why we are equal in political status. That's why we have political rights and we all are equal in India. Okay, now move to the rule of law and respect for rights. Rule of law and respect for rights, it is the story related to Zimbabwe, where the Prime Minister, President Robert Mugabe, controlled the states, I think, more than 30 years. And he used all kind of malpractices. They gained their presidential power, but less responsible to the people's perspective. Understand? He do not want to show responsibility towards the people's welfare. He controlled the media, he controlled the laws, he controlled the judiciary. He wanted to change any time, any judges from any high court or supreme courts. That's why people generally, showed their reactions against Robert Mugabe, and Robert Mugabe used violence to, control the entire, nations, and most of the nations of the world, claimed that the ruling system of Robert Mugabe was not as a legal way. So you have to think that each and every government should think about that. We have limits, we have constitution, and constitution provides work and procedures and limitation of power, not only for the government but also for the people also. Okay, read the book, chapters, later next part will be